This is the senseless and the latest example of reckless and cowardly use of guns in our society, and we pray it never happens again here in our community.
An act of violence that shocked our community tonight. What actions are being taken to keep students safe as more details emerge about yesterday's shooting at Fern Creek High School. Good evening. I'm Vicki Dorn.
And I'm Rick Van Hoos. Louisville police say the 16-year-old suspect had an intended target, but the 15-year-old victim was not it. We have team coverage tonight. Tim Elliott spoke with people who know the suspect.
But first, Lauren Adams is live with what city leaders and school officials are saying about the violence. Lauren?
Yeah, good evening to you, Vicki. I can tell you tonight, police are continuing their investigation, but as you just mentioned, the victim, we've learned, was not the intended target. But exactly who was or why, police still aren't saying.
This was the first shooting inside a JCPS school in the history of our district. We hope this will be the last. At approximately
CBS Superintendent Donna Hargens addressing the media, calling yesterday's shooting, quote, an upsetting and senseless event. Today, she praised the response of her staff and first responders. Police, meanwhile, saying Fern Creek will take the lead when it comes to implementing new safety measures if needed. While they are continuing their investigation, they're calling this an isolated incident. A young man who had one person in mind when he brought that gun to school yesterday morning.
We don't have any information that leads us to believe it was any bigger master plan than what was executed yesterday. He's been apprehended. So, you know, I have 3 kids at JCPS. I got them up and sent them off to school. If I feel comfortable enough to do that, I just implore the other parents to do the same thing.
And Rick, Vicki, that is something we heard echoed over and over again, not just from police, but also from school officials and even the mayor, that our schools are safe. Now, they talked extensively today about training they have done for years, most recently in July to react to an active shooter investigation. That training, although they never hoped to use it, did, police say, pay off. We're live tonight downtown. Lauren Adams, WLKY News.
Thank you, Lauren. The teenager accused in that shooting may be tried as an adult.
That's the word today from the Jefferson County attorney. WLKY Steve Bergen is here now with what prosecutors are saying about the case. Steve?
Right, Vicki. Michael O'Connell was in the courtroom as the 16-year-old appeared before a juvenile judge. But O'Connell expects this case won't be in juvenile court very long.
And it's mandatory that if you're 14 or over and you commit an offense with a handgun, that the matter is transferred to circuit court.
O'Connell says in the meantime he must convince a juvenile court judge that there's enough probable cause to prove the teenager, taken into custody yesterday, committed a felony with a handgun. He's making a motion to detain the youngster until the judge makes a decision.
To have a detention hearing within 72 hours, and then we will file the papers, our pleadings, asking that it be transferred as soon as possible.
A high school sophomore is being held in the Juvenile Detention Center and is likely to stay there if and when the case is transferred to circuit court, a move which could take a few weeks.
You know, after they get the detention hearing out of the way, I would imagine they would try to, and counsel's appointed for him, they'll maybe try to get something done within 30 to 45 days.
The boy was advised of the charges against him during his arraignment this afternoon. In most cases, reporters are not allowed in juvenile court, which was the case today. Steve Bergen, WLKY News.
Thank you, Steve. Neighbors of the teenage shooting suspect spoke out today.
WLKY's Tim Elliott went knocking on doors in his Newburgh neighborhood. He continues our team coverage live from Fern Creek. Tim?
Rick and Vicki, the suspect lives about 15 minutes away from Fern Creek High School, We stopped over in that neighborhood today hoping to talk to some residents, some friends, getting their reaction about what happened yesterday. And the people we spoke with say it's hard to imagine that this 16-year-old is responsible for the shooting. 24-year-old D'Angelo Patterson came home Tuesday afternoon and found his block of Regal Drive in Newburgh on lockdown.
I pulled up coming from downtown and they had it blocked off and it was just police everywhere.
That's because he lives just a few doors down from the 16-year-old Fern Creek High School shooting suspect and his family.
The first time I met him, my brother was cutting his father's hair and he came over to get a haircut.
He calls the teenager a friend and says on a regular basis they shoot hoops together outside his home.
A good guy, big guy, nice, very nice, like athletic. All we do is play basketball. He's a good guy, you know, never had a problem out of him, never seen a problem, you know what I'm saying? I see him every day.
My heart just breaks for his family and also for the victim's family because, you know, this senseless killing and shooting really needs to stop among our youth.
Patricia Moore has a sister who lives on the same block, and she knows the suspect's family as well.
I mean, I was just shocked to know that he was even involved in something like this, because that's really out of character for him. He's very respectable, and he's just a good kid.
Patterson is now trying to figure out if his neighbor could be capable of such a violent act.
I wouldn't put nothing past anybody, you know. Pressure, peer pressure, you know, it could change the way anybody thinks, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't put nothing past anybody.
Now, we also tried to reach out to family members in that Newburgh neighborhood this morning. However, our attempts to contact family members were unsuccessful. Reporting live in front of Fern Creek High School, Tim Elliott, WLKY News.
It was business as usual today at Fern Creek. We caught up with parents and grandparents as students were dismissed this afternoon. Many believe yesterday's shooting was an isolated incident, but said it's important to talk to kids about what happened.
We discussed how she felt about yesterday. She felt calm. She felt safe here. She felt safe about coming to school today. She was looking forward to coming back to school today.
A lot of these kids have a lot of pain and hurt, and I'm not even sure if all of us parents or grandparents, I'm a grandparent, would even understand what's going on most of the time in their thinking. And it would be wise, I think, just to get with your children every once in a while and ask them what's going on.
A JCPS official says about 1,200 students were in class today. That's about 10% below the school's average attendance. While some students and parents felt safe today, others are concerned about the history of guns at Fern Creek.
They're asking for more security at the school. WLKY's Ann Bowden is live with how JCPS is now responding to that. Ann?
Well, Rick and Vicki, I spoke directly to Superintendent Dr. Donna Hargens about the safety issue and also the history there at Fern Creek High School with lockdowns. And she asked that I give her more time so that she could personally research that history and she would get back in touch with me. But as far as additional security measures like metal detectors, Dr. Donna Hargens said it is not off the table.
Now Fern Creek becomes the lead. We've experienced it now. We've been training for it for years.
Fern Creek became Jefferson County Public Schools' first shooting in history. But the school has a history of guns and weapons causing lockdowns and family panic among parents and students. February 2008.
We definitely know there was a young man in the school with a gun. No shots have been fired. No one's been injured.
After a student reports seeing another student with a gun, panicked parents flood the grounds and a nearby church to get information.
I don't know a whole lot more than you do, unfortunately.
September 2010, 18-year-old Dominique Edmond is caught with a gun on campus. He served 2 years diversion. November 2011.
She's in there on the floor praying. That's what she texts me. Mommy, I'm in here on the floor praying, and I told her to stay down and keep on praying.
Another report of a student on the grounds with a gun.
There was a fight that could possibly have been gang-related, and the individual that returned to the school today allegedly was going back for retaliation.
2 students are taken into custody, but in this case, no gun is found. May of 2012. A random inspection turns up a shotgun and shells and a switchbladed knife in 2 students' cars. Inside the school, a loaded 9mm handgun is found inside a 17-year-old's backpack.
What is it going to take to get this school safe?
When directly asked that question about Fern Creek, its security and metal detectors?
Part of the debriefing process that will continue to go on is to look at everything. So I don't want to say we don't take anything off the table, but there's a whole lot of things you can do from where we are now to going to metal detectors. That really changes the game.
Rick and Vicki, right now there are only 3 schools in the JCPS school system that have metal detectors, and those are the 3 alternative schools that are in the system. Now, according to Deputy Chief Yvette Gentry, she says that metal detectors are not foolproof, so that has to be discussed. She says basically nothing is foolproof. Reporting live outside Metro Police Headquarters, Ann Bowden, WLKY News.
Thank you, Ann. Now here's a recap of what we've learned. Police got the call about the shooting at Fern Creek at 1:08 yesterday afternoon. Officers arrived 5 minutes later and quickly located the victim. Police say that student was not the intended target. He is still in the hospital tonight and is expected to recover. He's 15 years old. As for the 16-year-old suspect, he was caught 4 hours after the shooting at a nearby apartment. He appeared in juvenile court today, but prosecutors plan to charge him as an adult.